Another deadly attack at the zoo. When you climb into a wild animal enclosure, bad things are going to happen. In 2009, a woman by the name of Mandy K stunned onlookers when she jumped into the polar bear pen at the Berlin Zoo. Mandy was horribly mauled by the polar bear, but luckily was able to recover from her injuries. After the incident, Mandy's ex-husband revealed that she had been depressed over not being able to find work. While the jump into the bear enclosure may have been a suicide attempt, that did stop not the zoo from pressing charges against Mandy for breaching the peace. A horrifying crash. This haunting still shot from a dashcam video captures the moment that TransAsia Airways Flight 235 crashed into Taipei's Keelung River on February 4, 2015. 2 minutes after taking off from the Taipei airport, the pilots reported an engine flameout. In a panic, the pilots mistakenly and fatally shut off the lone working engine. The airplane then banked sharply left, clipping a taxi traveling over the Huandong Viaduct before hitting the viaduct itself with its left wing. Of the 53 passengers and 5 crew members on board, 43 perished in the crash. Several cars traveling over the busy viaduct captured the crash mid-air via dash cams. A potentially deadly octopus. Lots of scary things swim in the oceans off Australia, but one you may not have thought of is the deadly blue-ringed octopus. This small octopus hides among coral reefs. The animal has a painless bite that often goes unnoticed, but the venom can cause numbness, muscular weakness, and even difficulty breathing in as little as 10 minutes. Luckily for this man, who emerged from the waters of Australia, the octopus was extracted without a bite. Deadly encounter with a stingray. This is the final photo of Steve Irwin, an Australian TV personality known for rehabilitating wild animals back to health. Moments after this photo was taken, Steve was killed by a stingray while diving. The ray struck Irwin directly in his chest with its deadly tail, stopping his heart. At least Steve died doing what he loved. Regina K. Walters' last photo. This haunting photo of teenager Regina K. Walters was taken by her killer just moments before she was brutally murdered. At the age of 14, Walters and her boyfriend Ricky Lee Jones ran away from their Texas homes and were picked up by a man by the name of Robert Rhodes. What the unsuspecting teens could not know is that Rhodes was a serial killer suspected of murdering more than 50 women. Ricky Lee Jones was killed quickly, but Rhodes kept Regina, cut her hair, and forced her to wear this dress. He then took her to an abandoned barn and murdered her, but not before taking one final, horrifying photo of his victim. Rhodes was later convicted of Walters' murder and was sentenced to life without parole. Notorious B.I.G.'s last moment. This is the final photo ever taken of rap star Notorious B.I.G. He's leaving a party in New York with his buddy Sean Puff Daddy Combs. Just moments after this photo was taken, he was gunned down in a drive-by shooting which to this day remains unsolved. A fatal hike. In October 2015, Dr. Jamie Zimmerman, a noted doctor and a reporter for ABC News, posted this happy-looking portrait while hiking on the north shore of the Hawaiian island of Kauai. Just after this photo was posted to her Facebook page, Zimmerman lost her footing and plummeted down into the Lumahai River where she was swept out to the very same ocean pictured behind her. Lifeguards used jet skis to pluck Zimmerman from the water, but she died later in a nearby hospital. In 2014, 20-year-old Maksud Khan, who may have been suffering from a mental condition, jumped over the enclosure to the white tiger den at the New Delhi Zoo in India. For 15 horrifying minutes the tiger sat and glared at the young man who appeared to be praying. When bystanders started throwing rocks at the tiger to distract it, the animal attacked poor Maqsood, dragging him around the enclosure and finally killing him. It took more than 2 hours for officials to corral the animal into a cage before they could recover the body. After the incident there was debate as to whether Maqsood jumped into the enclosure or fell while losing his balance as he stood on the edge of the tiger's barrier. Either way, it was a deadly decision for Maqsood. Horrifying leopard attack. In July 2012 this leopard escaped the Mahananda Wildlife Sanctuary in West Bengal and terrorized the nearby village of Limbu. A full-scale operation was assembled to track down the leopard and apprehend it before it could kill or maim innocent bystanders. This photo shows the moment right after one of the forest guards threw a stone into the bushes where the leopard was believed to be hiding. Suddenly, the leopard let out a deafening roar and lunged at a passing guard who unwisely had his back turned to the wild animal. The leopard pummeled the guard to the ground and then lunged at another guard before disappearing into the trees once again. It took another 3 excruciating hours before the leopard was finally tracked down and subdued. While the guard who was attacked managed to survive, the leopard did not. Khartoum hot air balloon disaster. In January 2012 a hot air balloon took off for a leisurely 45-minute scenic flight over Khartoum, New Zealand with 11 people on board. After completing a partial figure-8 flight over the Khartoum area the balloon attempted to land, but struck a high-voltage power line on its way down, shown above. The power line caused a fire to break out and soon the balloon was engulfed in flames, killing all 11 on board. A subsequent investigation revealed that the pilot may have been under the influence of marijuana at the time of the incident. Daredevil's final stunt. In 1995, Robert Overaker, a graduate of a California stunt school, attempted to ride a jet ski over Niagara Falls as a stunt to bring attention to the plight of the homeless. His plan was to leap off the jet ski as it went down the falls, open his parachute, and glide gently down to the water below. Sadly, Overaker's parachute never opened and he plunged to his death 180 feet below. To make a sad event even more tragic, it was Overaker's brother who took the final photo you see above. He and 2,000 to 3,000 onlookers witnessed Overaker's fatal, final stunt. The hero of Columbine. In 1999 the word Columbine became associated with the worst mass school shooting in U.S. history. Students Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold entered Columbine High School in Jefferson County, Colorado armed with guns and pipe bombs. The pair systematically went around the school murdering 12 fellow students and injuring 24 others before committing suicide. In this photo we see William Dave Sanders, a teacher at the school rushing to warn students in the cafeteria that a deadly shooting had broken out. Moments after this photo he was gunned down by Eric Harris who delivered 2 shots to Sanders' chest. Sanders' heroic actions undoubtedly saved hundreds of innocent lives. Sadly, since 1999 there have been numerous school shootings that killed more people than Columbine. A final parkour leap. This photo captures Pavel Kashin's last parkour leap. In 2013 Kashin, a well-known parkour expert and free runner, was trying to do a backflip against the wall. With his friends filming the leap, Kashin lost his balance and plunged 16 stories to his death. Crash of the Concorde. This is the final photo taken of Concorde Flight 4590 as it took off from the airport in Paris en route to New York City. During takeoff, the supersonic aircraft ran over debris on the runway, puncturing its fuel tank, which led to a huge fire. All 100 passengers and 9 crew members were killed when the Concorde crashed into a hotel in nearby Gonesse. 4 people on the ground also perished in the only fatal accident during the Concorde's 27-year history of transatlantic flight. Suicide on live TV. Robert Bud Dwyer, shown here, was treasurer of the state of Pennsylvania in the 1980s before being accused of receiving bribes. Due to the stature of his position in state government, Dwyer's highly public trial was broadcast on live television. In the midst of the trial, Dwyer pulled a gun out of a manila envelope, put it in his mouth and pulled the trigger. Millions saw it happen live on TV.